All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by... The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. And a glance here at their quarterback, standing 6'3".
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering some snacks.
I was just going to say.
That's where I go.
And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Come on, let's go. What, 90? What, 90?
They'll run it now out of the gun. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Chicago. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bears have taken the early lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well-organized, well-coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
The extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 7-0. It only took him 2 plays there to find the end zone. The last one, the long run, getting him in for 6 points. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team that wins.
Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now let's go. Green 39.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
The Seahawks send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Oh, the spin. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Bears take over. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we would be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
I know a lot of times we like to put players in certain boxes. He does this and he does that. But this guy, he can do a little bit of everything. He's not just a lead blocker or a guy who protects the passer. Handing the ball, he might want to get out of the way.
So they come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Let's go! Brand 38! Brand 38! Hey!
Throwing on first down. Parks. And caught left side. Olsen to the 40 and no further. The razzle-dazzle, though, got him a couple extra on the play. A look at the numbers from last week for Olsen. 5 catches, 61 yards.
I like the performances he's put up throughout the year. That's the reason he's ranked #9 in the league in receiving yards. In a league that throws the ball around like crazy, #9's a good number.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That goes for a gain of 31.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
Let's go! What?
Now a play fake here on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
Come on, let's go!
On 3rd down, Parks. That is caught inside the 5. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
What? 90! What? 90!
Operating from the gun. Parks over the middle, and it's incomplete. Here's a starting 11 for Seattle, and they come in ranked 26 in the NFL against the pass. They've been pretty solid against the pass, toward the middle of the pack, number 14 in the NFL.
Yeah, this has been a good defense, but they're going to have to really prove it in this one because guess what? They're facing the #1 passing offense in the NFL. It's definitely a prove-it day for them.
Come on, let's
They'll
go!
come out in the pistol. He'll get it up the middle. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. A tale of two extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His second goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry, and you come back and you're all fired up, and sometimes you force a run a little.
And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. As his guys are in for 6, and the Bears will add on to their lead.
This has to be great for the psyche of this offense. Presented with bad field position, they didn't let it stop them. They rolled downfield and scored a touchdown.
Now the extra point. And now it's blocked, but he doesn't get far. They're able to stop him. And after all that, the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
Well, there's a blocked extra point. I remember playing, and We had one of those go against us. I remember our kicker and our holder told the head coach, just relax, coach. Why are you yelling? Don't worry about it. It's just 1 point. Oh, my. Those coaches see a point is gold to them because you never know how it's going to turn out later.
Exactly. That's why I was just going to say first quarter. We'll see if this has any implications as the game goes on.
I still can't believe they told the head coach to relax.
Whoa, bad move.
Let's go.
And they'll run it here. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Time to run through the starters on the defensive side for Chicago. They've had their trouble stopping the run, Charles. Currently 29th in the NFL in that department.
This is an area of the game that they definitely have to improve because right now, against the pass, top 10 in the league. But against the run, that's where the struggles have come in. Got to find a way to make sure they stop runners before they get started.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Gilbert. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
The Seahawks send out their punter as he'll kick it away for the second time. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And on the ground they go with a running back. A very good move, but for a relatively modest gain out near the 32. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. Well, they're making a real first quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Let's go! Red 38! Red 38!
From the gun, Parks throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. A pretty sizable deficit here in the first quarter. This defense probably need to get off the field in those situations on 3rd down.
And you and I both know in this huddle before that last 3rd down play, that's exactly what they talked about. Let's make a play. Let's get off the field. Let's reverse the momentum. Instead, they got hit with another first down, almost back to the drawing board.
Come on, let's go!
They go play action here on 1st down. He's going to fire one deep. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Chicago. A big play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bears will extend their lead.
Well, Brandon, if we go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator, he showed us his script. Didn't show us everything now. He said, here's the script for the game. I think everything's going according to plan in a big way. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's about as good. That is as good as you can do, I guess. So, well done.
Yeah, well done indeed. Tremendous execution.
Point after try forthcoming. Point after, right down the middle. And that pushes the lead up to an even 20. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards. And it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
And this one will go to the 28-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Here we go.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Back to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Wilkins. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. The Seahawks send out their punter as he's on here to punt it away. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. This is brought in at the 21. A 41-yard punt, 9 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And they must have seen something leading up to this one that said, hey, we're going to be able to go deep because they've gone deep with a lot of success.
And pick your phrase, pick your code words, your buzzwords, or whatever. Vertical stretch, deep passes, go routes, right? What's that route you love? What's that route you love?
4 verts.
4 verts. All of it working because they're able to find ways to get deep and for him to show off that big arm.
We see some of that big arm right here. He has been great.
Here we go.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves him needing about 7 here on 3rd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
To throw on 3rd down, Parks. And he will find his man on the outside. He gets 7 out of it, and he also gets a first. This quarterback now nearly perfect. 9 of 10 in this first half. It's 1st and 10.
Come on, let's go. Ryan 38.
They'll run it now out of the gun. He'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis back with you as it's Bears football here to begin quarter number 2. They've got a second down at 5 here to start things out.
Let's go!
And they'll go on the ground. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. Looking to throw. Parks. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Here comes the Bears punter now as he's on to kick it away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Seattle now ready to march onto the field. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. They run a draw here on 2nd down, and he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
While there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
And his throw is incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
They'll look to throw here. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Call it a 3-yard gain, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence, does a great deal for your team, gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And down he'll go at the 25. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up the first down. Keep the sticks moving.
And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped, but I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, with the kind of half he's had, I think we can forgive him that run, right? Not every run's going to be a big play, is it?
No, and also the blocking just wasn't there. No room to run.
Yeah, defensively, they got to find a way to build on that because he's eating them alive in the first half.
And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the 2nd quarter.
A pair of first downs gives him a 1st and 10 up at the 44. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
And when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Watching that run takes me back to something a famous old coach once said. Any player he wants on his team, he wants him to be agile, mobile, and most definitely hostile.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Off play action. Parks. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. That goes for a gain of 31.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal.
The end result was brute force on brute force. But think about everything that's going on if you're playing defensive tackle. You're dealing with at least one blocker across from you, trying to deal with him, shed him, and maybe even a second one before you have to try and make the tackle on the big guy.
In for the score, and the Bears will add on to their lead.
That's almost just not right. You cover everybody, but those tight ends, they can be awfully reliable.
Very reliable. Defense just has to hate those guys.
This drives them crazy because oftentimes you can't match up with them. They have you either with size, speed, or maybe even just strength.
Extra point attempt to come here. Extra point right down the middle. And a rout is on here in this first half. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And the end result is a Bears touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Well, look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you've got a chance to come back to him when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
And still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. 7 yards to pick up on the pitch and catch.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown. That pick 6 extending this lead even further. And boy, it's been a while since I've seen a team struggle this badly in the first half.
I think all they want to do is get to the locker room, try and regroup, and come out to start the third quarter. But if things don't improve fast then, I think the backups get a lot of play in the second half.
The try here for the extra point. Extra point safely through. And a route is on here in this first half. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be fielded at the 6. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. In the second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates. Find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Pretty fortunate there, the interception that ended the last drive, and then boom, the first pass here almost picked on this drive.
Yeah, I think you could definitely call him to question his decision-making here in the first half.
Certainly not the best of decisions there, Lucky. That one wasn't picked. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down.
Set! Blue landing! Blue landing!
Now back to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Wilkins. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. The Seahawks send out their punter as he's on for the 5th time here today. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
On 1st and 10, Parks. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. They'll try again from the 20 on 2nd and 10.
Let's go! Grind 38!
Off the play fake. Parks. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
Here we go. White 90. White 90. Hut.
Delay of game, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards.
Still second down.
Come on, let's go. White 90. White 90.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Encroachment, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football.
Still second down.
Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
And now they face a 2nd and 6 after the penalty.
Come on, let's go. Ryan 38.
Operating from the gun. Parks. He finds his man, the tight end Olsen. We'll give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. On first down, they'll run it on the draw play. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. But that was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
To throw on 2nd down. Parks. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. And his kick is good. So we come upon halftime here at Soldier Field with the Bears out in front. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. The NFL season going to be about 2/3 complete after this weekend, so lots to get to as we check out what's going on here in Week 11. We'll begin our tour of the trip up to Toronto, Canada, and it's the Jets who are out in front in that one. The Jets seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. From there, we head down south to Tampa to check on the Bucs at home at Raymond James Stadium. And at this point, they trail the visiting Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons looking to sew that one up, and they look to be in pretty good shape. Lastly, let's get you to MetLife Stadium to see what's happening with the Giants at home in East Rutherford. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Dallas Cowboys. The Giants trying to gut this one out, as it would be a good victory for them if they could get it. Meanwhile, our game has been a boat race. Very one-sided to this point. And for the call of the second half, let's get it back to our commentating team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that.
And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Just a couple there on the second down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Set. Green, 39. Green, 39.
They're going to look to throw. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
They just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of it. The Seahawks send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Taking it about the 36. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And it'll be a short field for the Bears as they take over 1st and 10. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see what the offense gets done.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Come on, let's go. Green, 38.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Bears continue to pour it on.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Extra point attempt to follow here. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead will swell by one more. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Gilbert. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Maybe a frustration penalty there because he's picked them apart.
They've tried their best to get to him and haven't done it successfully. A penalty as a result of that hit there.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They'll set up a throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And the athleticism on the spin move allows him to pick up the first before he's brought down. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
All right, here we go.
Now we've got whistles and movement up front. I think this is against Seattle.
False start, offense.
Oh, moving from his tight end spot there.
Do you think that perhaps the play call was for him?
Now let's go. Green, 39.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. The Seahawks on third down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is third down and 12.
Green, 39. Green, 39.
He'll drop to throw. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for fourth down. Now Justin Tucker's out to try the field goal. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit third quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag? You just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time out, another touchdown. I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? Who? You and me, trying to get to the airport. The road to be fairly clear by the time we have to leave the booth.
Throwing to start the drive. Parks throwing middle, and it's complete. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. This quarterback now nearing the 300-yard mark with still a quarter to play. It's 1st and 10.
Let's go. What? 90. What?
And they'll run it here. And an alley to run. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done.
Here we go.
Back to throw. Parks. And he whips that one incomplete there. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
The Bears on 3rd down. They have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and forever.
Let's go. What? 90.
From the gun, Parks. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the 1st down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the 2nd half. Here comes the Bears punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a 1st down. Right back to him on 1st down. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And he'll get this up to about the 40. A nice job there as he rumbles for 9. And it'll be back to a 3rd and 3.
You got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
He'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Gilbert. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. A big play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Seahawks are able to at least knock this deficit down a bit. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. Tucker with the extra point. So they do get 1 score back, but still a long way to go here in the 3rd quarter. A 4-play drive spanning 80 yards. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. The big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably gotten some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a 1st down here. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this one. He's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the 1st.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover and double and triple and do what you have to do? But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now.
Let's go!
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
A great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps him pick up the 1st. At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Let's go! Ryan 38!
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
3 down. Let's go!
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. On 3rd down, it's Frazier. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
Here we go! Ryan
And they'll go on the ground. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And shutting him off, now open field. Heck of a move, and then brought down near the 23. 8 yards on the ground there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 2. The Bears on 3rd down. Can't fault these numbers. 7 for 9 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. And they'll run it here. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. This is where, 4th quarter, you got the lead, you give it to the big guy. Defensively, kind of sucks the will out of them, doesn't it? Because they don't want to tackle him right now this late in the game.
Well, you say that with accusatory tones. I mean, but you're exactly right. I know it's not something we actually want to talk about, but as a defender, 4 quarters worth of trying to bring people down, 4 quarters worth of pounding, and now late in the game, here comes that big guy coming at you, and a lot of guys are wondering whether they want to come up and make that tackle at this stage of the game.
From the gun on 3rd down, Parks, and he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. In for the score, and the Bears add on. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Point after, right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead. That one was an extended drive, 14 plays all told. And it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded at the 2. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's able to get up here to the 26. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue, landed.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Throw left side, complete. It's Gilbert. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That, I believe, will put him over 100 yards receiving for the game. Yes, it will. And he's got a 1st down to boot. And he's been one of their few bright spots here this afternoon.
And as you pointed out, so far he's gotten his. That's not been the issue at all. But the teammates, the other guys, they've been shut down. That's why the defensive guys have to feel pretty good, even though he's over 100 yards.
Yeah, he topped 100 with that last catch. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Over the middle, complete. It's Wilkins. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
All right, here we go.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Encroachment, defense.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Automatic first down.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
Back to throw here. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
All right, here we go.
He'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. They'll drop to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Now Justin Tucker. He has hit from 61 in his career, so he has the leg for this. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
Here we go.
On 3rd down, it's Frazier. And for the moment, this will be a 1st down. But we have a marker on the field. Let's see if this stands.
Holding, offense.
That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, he can't hold him.
And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much, as he's down to the 48. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
And out now come the Seahawks.
All right, here we go.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And he gets it up to the 10-yard line here. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short.
What a way to start a drive. An excellent run, a tone setter, and now if you want to take a shot on second down and go play action and make it look like the same exact play and throw it over the top, you can do so because you've established the run in a big way.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Gilbert. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. He had their lone TD earlier. Now he's got a first down. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Set. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38, and they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. This spot in the fourth quarter with that deficit had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Come on, let's go.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be second and 6. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a third and about 4 for a first. Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Chicago, they keep on rolling. moving 10-0 now to start the year, and they will hit the road next week. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, it's a loss that'll drop them back to 500 through 10 games. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Santa Clara to take on the 49ers. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.